What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Driveway Podcast. I'm Zach, and I'm with Johnny yet again. No guests this week, but we're ready to rip it. We're ready to have a good time with y'all.
Party.
Party.
So we'll just get it out of the way. That poll was disgusting.
That was incredible.
I was completely wrong. I guess, I don't know what you call it, but I just have to come face the music that wow, did I do a terrible job in that Mount Rushmore. I think the worst visual is that in a group chat, Zach's like, it's gonna be a slaughter. I forget what Zach said, but he's like, this is gonna be a slaughter. And I was like, a slaughter? You gotta be kidding me. If anything, it's gonna be close. Well, it was a brutal, bloody slaughter. Like I stood no chance. From the moment that poll came out, I stood no chance. But what feels unfair is how many votes it got. We got 130 votes on this thing, and Zach got 96% of the vote. I mean, look, the next highest result that we got was 10 votes, and this was the Rasheed Rice trade poll way back when. But this is way worse than like until I don't even know if we're gonna be able to top this. Like this is such a victory for Zach. I don't know where we go from here.
Yeah,
Do Mount Rushmores anymore?
I'd love to do Mount Rushmore more just to get the chance of having this happen again. Um, no, it's not necessarily. So the thing with me, I'm like, I knew I was right the whole time. So the amount of people who voted for it is great for me, but I think what matters most is that 94%. That just makes me think throughout Johnny's whole squabble last week of just, oh, Annoying Orange was a terrible pick. Oh, Forest Fire 101, no one knows who that is.
Okay, you brought up the worst two arguments for your case. Those are clearly your worst picks in that draft. You won because of the combo Niga Higa Smosh. Of course you won because of that. You
But
can't point to Annoying Orange and be like, yeah, that is why I won this poll.
somebody in the comments said they came to this poll because they looked up Annoying Orange. How could you even
And they
say
were
that?
seeing if Annoying Orange still was posting any videos. They didn't say like, "Oh, I would have loved to have watched Annoying Orange."
But that means people are still looking up Annoying Orange, which means it still has relevancy, which means it was a good
Mm,
pick.
no, they were saying the Annoying Orange still making videos. So they didn't watch Annoying Orange to this day. They were just curious. Oh, hey, remember that old shitty YouTube channel? Are they still
You're
making shitty
you're
videos?
assuming that. You're assuming that. You don't know if he watched any. Sure, he might
I
have just written. He looked it up, but he could have watched some.
He might have watched some after making that comment, but I think the implication of the comment was that he doesn't watch Annoying Orange at the moment, which is fine. That was the point of the point of the thing was old YouTube channels. But anyways, I'm just saying
Also,
that
yeah, to
you can't claim Annoying Orange as the reason that you won that poll.
no, that's not the reason, but he helped with the team win.
Ah, he was keeping the
I think
stat
if
sheet on the bench, I think.
if we swapped Annoying Orange and Epic Mealtime, it would be like 90% to 10%.
You think I'd get 4% of that vote from Annoying Orange?
Yes.
Oh my God. Do we redo the poll?
No, no, I don't want to.
There is no, in my opinion, there is no way that's true.
Also, I'm kind of
Well, I
disappointed.
I don't know. Like my opinion's not valid anymore. Anyways,
I'm kind of disappointed nobody liked my Hangman. Um,
yeah, no one gave a crap about your Hangman thing.
no, I thought that was really funny, but everyone cared more about the poll, which is okay with me because I ended up smoking you, but I would have liked to have gotten some LOLs
A
in
little
the
love.
chat.
There's
A
one
little
like
love.
on that.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
Ah,
Well, you know, that
but
sucks.
I appreciate everybody who tuned in to vote for me. Um, the very first poll we had in here, I think Johnny won by a vote, and I was thinking like, man, will I ever win? And I've won quite a bit since then.
Well,
So
yeah, quite a bit.
yeah, I
Is
won the
that
best
true?
birthday. I won the best birthday.
Yeah, best for well, we didn't say best birthday. We said best date, which is a better date.
Okay, yeah, true, true.
I won the
Um,
memes. All
you
right,
did
let's
win the
see. You
memes.
won the dance trends, which come on, that was You got lucky. I don't know how you won that. Barely won that one. Um, I won the memes. So 2-1 Zach. You won the date. I don't. What are we giving that to you? Did you really like win that? I think we were just polling the viewers. That's my opinion, but we can give you that win. 3-1 Zach. And then Rasheed Rice is the one that I won.
Hmm.
So 3-2.
Oh yeah, I'm up. This is like fantasy football, man. I'm still up.
Actually, in our first poll ever, it was a 50-50 split. Who's going to win in the first JFL matchup? So,
Oh, okay. I'm
oh
just
my
noticing.
God, actually, our first poll was one of our first polls was way worse. The podcast is back this week. Are you excited? We had 3 votes. 2 people voted no. One person voted yes.
Let me fix that. There we go. Two
Oh
to two.
no. Oh, okay. Wait, sorry. One more poll. Which driveway
Yeah,
podcast host is better in NCAA 25? And I
that one's
won.
not a poll. That one's a like
Oh, right, that wasn't. But
question.
2 people voted for me, technically.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, well, we can get off that. I just wanted to. So wait. Actually, wait. Before we leave that, are we
Yeah.
tied
Do you
then,
want to
or
bury me one last time?
and
You want to put the needle through my nose? Put me in a
just
body bag?
thank you everybody for voting. It's always nice to stick it to the man. That's all I'll say about that.
Stick it to demoniosis. So something else that sucks. Well, actually, I can't comment, but gray hairs. That was our
Yeah.
next topic. Zach wanted to talk about gray hairs a little bit here.
So you have no gray hair at anywhere in your body.
None that I found.
Okay. As of what's today? March 5th, 2025, I officially have 3 gray hairs on my head and 2 gray beard hairs.
You know, if I can be a D1 hater for a moment, the
Please
gray
do.
hairs on your head isn't that surprising because you have the head of a 60-year-old man. Yeah.
What the heck, man? What was that for?
I mean, come on, it's true. Like it
I
stinks, but that's the reality.
I can't even say
You're
anything.
an old head. You're a young heart, but an old head.
Okay, well, I didn't like that
Whereas
one bit.
your
Uh-huh.
beard, you've just got a very full, handsome beard. But you
I don't know if
also
you can.
have had that beard for a long time. So your body
Mhm.
might be like, oh man, this guy is so old. And start giving him gray hairs.
But I'm 25 years old. What 25-year-old
Right.
gets gray hairs?
But your head is old. The rest of you is young. Your brain, your eyes,
I just think it's
chest,
I
shoulders.
think it's a little unfair that I have to be bald and have gray hairs. Do you know what I mean?
Right, right. No, I agree. Like it's unfair, but I think it's like you can't have one without the other.
Hmm. So, well,
Unless you have cancer.
oh gosh. Okay, that's I was thinking about like Steve Carell has gray hair. I don't think he's balding. For
That's
most, for
true.
most,
I
for
mean,
most, for most people, you'd get balding with gray.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I won't say there's causation, but maybe a little correlation.
Anyway, the reason I want to bring that up is because I was going to the bathroom at work on Monday, and I've been knowing I've had 1 gray hair, but I noticed the second one,
Oh.
and I was like, this isn't good. We're speeding it up. We've
And then a
doubled it.
third one just cropped up too, didn't it?
We've,
You said you
uh,
had 3, right?
3 on my head,
Oh,
three like
3 on your head, 2 on your
beard.
noggin, 1 on your chin.
No, 3 on my head, 2 on my beard. So there's 5 in total.
Okay, okay. So, but you said you just discovered your second hair this week, or did
Second
I?
beard hair. Sorry.
Second
Second
beard
beard
hair.
hair.
Okay,
Sorry,
okay.
my
Yeah,
bad.
yeah.
I should have said to that.
You saw also have like some like red hairs in your beard too, if I remember.
Hmm. Yeah. It's only when I grow my beard out really long do they start
Oh,
changing color.
okay, okay.
But the gray hair I think sticks, unfortunately.
Zach
And
Jennings, Technicolor.
I was just wondering. I know you don't have any gray hairs, but I was just like, would that like affect you at all? Because it's kind of affecting me more than I thought it would.
I think it would. Like, I agree. Like, if you start getting gray hairs at 25, I think I would be, but I think I would be more like you said, like, this is unfair. Why is this happening right now? This shouldn't be happening. I don't think it would make me think, like, oh, wow, how old I am. There are other things that do that. Yes, for
Hmm.
sure. But I think I agree in your appraisal of, like, this isn't fair.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Um,
long it would affect me, though. I feel like it would sink for the first, like, 4 hours and then to be like, well, I guess that's just the reality. Have you considered like plucking that hair out?
I have considered, but it's, I mean, it's not like super noticeable. Like I'd have to point it out to you in order for you to see it.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know. I almost want to keep it to show like I'm better than these gray hairs. I'm Zach
Sure.
Jennings. I'm not these gray hairs.
Yeah.
Um, but I- what worries me is like I started noticing the gray hairs like a year-ish ago. I'm on my head,
Oh, okay.
and I that's when I noticed one, and now there's like in total there's five. So if you do the math, I'm getting more gray hairs sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
So
That is true. So what are you saying? By the time you're 30, you're gonna be like
I
Silver
mean,
Fox?
maybe I hope not, but that's what it's looking like. That every day goes by, I'm worried I'm gonna stumble upon another hair. That's gray. I
It
was just
might.
wondering, like,
I feel like it. Sorry, go for it.
I just wanted like your advice, or if the viewers listening and they have gray hairs, if they want to let me know like when they got the gray hairs and how they handled it, because I'm not saying it put me to an existential crisis, but I have thought a lot more like time is fleeting.
At least a essential crisis.
Yeah, I definitely had a existential crisis for sure. Didn't say that right at all. Um, yeah, so I guess that was it. I'm just worried that like it's March already in 2025.
Yeah.
Time is
Time's
speeding up.
flying.
Time is going by fast.
Time is absolutely flying. I concur wholeheartedly. I guess my only advice would be, I think at this point, whatever gray hairs you have are just like there's something wrong with that hair. That particular hair got doesn't have the pigment. I don't think it's
Okay.
like an aging thing quite yet. I think it's just like since birth that little follicle was destined to be gray. Because so that used to work with this guy at the grocery store who his hair was all normal or like all colored, I guess. I mean brown. Let's just say brown. His hair was all brown except for literally like a tuft, like just a small tuft coming out of the front of his head. And he said, "I've literally had this since I was a baby. Like it's just always been this little tuft of hair was always this gray color." So he was
Oh,
just born with
interesting.
it. So that's why I'm wondering maybe you were just born with these three single gray hairs and you're now just noticing them for some reason. Maybe
That
not the beard
helps.
hairs, maybe, I don't know, but at least your head hairs, your noggin hairs.
That's a good way to think about it. I like that a lot. That definitely makes me feel better than, oh, I'm just getting older.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
Um,
you are getting older. You're
Well,
one
yeah,
older
yeah.
month.
Have you
Yeah.
heard of the book, the Power of Now?
No, but you read that last year, right?
Well, I'm in the process of finishing it. I
Oh.
started it last year,
Oh.
gave up on it for like 9 months. But I'm
What
actually
is
almost done. I have two chapters left, and I'm gonna finish it this weekend.
Okay.
Um, the whole book is about like enjoying the present and how to be in the present more.
Yeah.
And low key, the book, if you, I don't, anyone's ever listening, if you've ever read it, I don't really like the book that much. I think the advice he's giving is very like, oh, I know everything.
Mm.
But like, I feel like he's just writing. Like he could have made this book 30 pages and had that be more informational than the 160 pages it is right now.
Yeah.
My opinion. But
So it's 160 pages, took you 9 months.
well, it took me 2 months and then a 7 month little break.
Oh, okay, okay. Hey, that happens.
Hmm.
Happens to the best of us.
Yeah. Um, So yeah, I
What
guess
have
try,
you learned? What's some highlights? Maybe do you have like a top three best quotes from the book, top three lessons from the book?
I'll be
What do
honest,
you
the
want to share
beginning of the
with us?
book is so much better than what I'm reading right now.
Really?
So, and I
So,
read the beginning last year, so I
okay.
don't really remember that much. Right now, it's talking
So it
about,
has so then there hasn't really had that good of a lesson if you don't remember it too well. Wouldn't you say? Would you agree?
yeah, I have the idea of a concept of a lesson,
Okay.
but no, right now he's talking about a bunch of mumbo jumbo about like I can't even remember what he said. Okay, let's move on. That it's just
Uh,
nothing.
you screwed that one up. You screwed
I
that one up
did.
big time.
I just
You know what? Go for it.
I was gonna say the book maybe not worth reading.
Okay.
My review, but it is good to be in the
That
now.
is that is the official stamp on this book by just the Driveway Podcast. Do not read.
But do live in
Driveway
the now.
Podcast Book Club is just books that you shouldn't read.
I agree with the premise of the book, but not the execution.
Okay. I was gonna say just one other loose end from last week's episode. Zach is pointing his mic in an awkward position again this time, but his audio did come through just fine last time. So 2 points to Zach from last episode. I'm just getting hammered. I'm getting hammered these past couple episodes, but
We'll get you a win here.
that's
Well,
okay.
maybe
Yeah.
is the next talking point a win?
No, it's not.
Oh no.
Maybe a
Oh
little
no.
bit though. Maybe a little bit.
Okay.
So the next talking point, we'll just start holistically and then we'll zone in. But I've just been having kind of like a good past like I don't know what you call it. How many hours would that be? Let's just call it 24 hours. Having a good past 24 hours. One highlight was I was in a lecture hall, I guess you call it. Like not in the lecture room itself, I suppose, but just like the building. I was in this building and I was sitting outside of not I wasn't going into this man's office, but I was sitting outside of his office because there were some tables outside of. So I was sitting there doing some stuff. And I noticed a couple laughs, but I didn't think anything of it. And then all of a sudden, like this guy was just laughing his ass off. I don't know what he was
He
watching in
was
there,
hooting and hollering.
but he was having the time of his life. He was like one of the things that got me was like, he is. And then he was like, I don't know, like someone was making some observational comedy, maybe let's just maybe say about Trump or something like that. And like this
Mhm.
guy was just get like cracking up. He was having the best time of his life. I've never heard someone have such a good time at work before. I wish I had the confidence to knock on his door and be like, "Hey, man, I just heard you cracking up. I wanted to know what you were laughing at." But I think if I did that, it probably would have shut him down. He probably would have been like, "Oh, I probably should, you know,
Lower your
like
voice.
if someone did that to me, I'd be like, "Oh, I gotta reel it in. I can't be giving these belly laughs out." So,
Hmm.
anyways, that was funny. That'll make you happy. But the main reason I wanted to talk about my next point, which is I Am Soccer, was because I was talking with a popular viewer, a well-known viewer, and former Driveway podcast guest last night, and I told him that I'd if no news was bad news, and so I want to give news of I Am Soccer so that he knows that it is good news and that it is not bad news with an asterisk. So it's good news with an asterisk. So
Can
basically, what happened? Just go for it.
can I know who you were talking to?
The famous one.
Oh, the famous one. Right on. All right. All right.
And so I just wanted to clear the air. I wanted to say that I Am Soccer last night we lost. Okay, we lost one
Mm.
nothing, but with the stipulation of we played our best soccer yet. It was a really fun game. So the first three games we'd been getting hammered. The first game was a 2-0 loss, which doesn't sound bad, but we just really weren't in the game the entire time. We didn't look ourselves. We didn't it didn't feel right. The second game, a 7-0 loss. It was brutal. The game ended
Oh
early.
my gosh.
They
They called
rolled
it?
up. It was just we had a really rough night. The third game, so last week, another rough night. We were up 2-1, and with 5 minutes left in the game, the other team turned it
Oh
around to win the
no.
game 3-2. So it was pretty devastating. And
Didn't they
again,
say that's the worst lead to have in soccer, or is that 2-0?
2-0, 2-0.
2-0? Okay.
Um, and so it was pretty devastating. But again, like sometimes you can brush those off, but that wasn't one that you could brush off because again, we didn't play very well. Like if we had won, it would have been nice, but I still would have had this like little itch in my brain of like we just didn't deserve that one though. Like we didn't earn it. Whereas last night we deserved better for sure. I mean, obviously the scoreline, like a loss is a loss, and you can't really say, we deserved better because if we deserved better, we would have had it. But man, did we was that our best loss yet? And so, you have to, you know, when you're changing the culture of a program, you gotta cut out the big losses. You have to win, or you have to lose small first. You have to lose small first before you can win small. And then you have to win small first before you can win big. So last night, I think that was our lose small. We lost small. We were really close. And and there are two things that make this loss good. One good, one bad. I had the opportunity to tie the game with 30 seconds left. I had a dribble through the midfield. I was like Lionel Messi, and got a Messi, and got a Messi, 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 Messi.
Whoa.
They could have been doing that for me. I was dribbling it through their entire team, and I was one on one with the goalie, and I did exactly what I wanted to do. I got the goalie to dive left so that I could pull it back onto my right foot and shoot it, but I that my touch was just ever so slightly off, and so when I brought it back onto my right foot, I kicked it just a little too far in front of my right foot, such that I couldn't get the second kick, the second touch to put it in the back of the net, and it was so disappointing. Um, because that was the game right there. Like I should have tied the game, and it's gut wrenching to have that. Um, but the other thing that made the game nice was I cooked. Manager of the year, let me cook. I got the team into a new formation. We'd been traditionally playing like a 4-4-2. We did some experimentation last semester with like a 4-5-1. And so this week, so through the first three games, we'd just been getting penetrated through the middle, like really bad. Anyone could just walk right through us, and we couldn't do anything about it. So this week, I set us up for a very structured midfield. We played a little FIFA users will know this one, the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So we had four in the back. We had one CDM sitting right in front of the back. And then we had two central midfielders playing pretty narrow. Then we had me and center attacking mid and two strikers. And the strikers' job, which I told them at the beginning of the game, and they did a fantastic job of the entire game, was provide the width. So all balls that were going to be channeled to the outside, they'd be there to collect those up, whereas I'd handle the long balls through the middle. And I felt really good coming out of that game because of how well that formation worked. Like I said, we played some
Mm.
of our best football. And they honestly, okay, Ian, if you're listening, don't take offense to this. But he kind of let us down on the goal that they did score. It was a
Oh, what
little
happened?
disappointing. I we were just like so they got a throw in, and they just took the throw in fast, but I, it was just I can't describe it. It was they took it fast, and like our entire defense wasn't really paying attention, but they took a shot that like I was like, what? I don't know. I couldn't explain it. But we just kind of got let down. Um, but anyways, it worked so much better that we do have a couple things to improve. A couple people do get pulled out of position, but what was good about this formation was when those people got pulled out of position, there what we had enough numbers back to fill for them. So if we have people stay in their position, they don't leave their position, I
Hmm.
believe our team's going to be looking really good. So next week we've got a good team that we're playing, but from here on out, um, I'm hoping that we can keep our lose small next week. I don't think we'll win because this team is good, but I think the goal for our team next week is lose small again.
Yeah, I mean, and again, confidence has a big role in how you perform as a team. I think confidence is a lot. Um, like especially with CM football, we got blown out a little bit, but we felt like we could win pretty much any game, especially the last game of the year, our senior year.
Yeah,
Um,
should have won it. Should have won
we
it.
had a lot of confidence going into that game. So,
Yeah,
um,
don't sleep on us.
mhm.
We
Is this
hung.
so?
Don't sleep on.
This was the same team you played with last semester?
Yeah, same team, a couple new faces.
Okay.
And ironically, the new faces have all the goals of our team so far.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You haven't scored yet?
No, I haven't. I should have scored, right? But no,
Uh,
I haven't. Because that's the other thing is I've been playing a little too defensively. Like I tried to put myself in at the CDM spot. I tried to put myself in at center back, and it just wasn't working very well. So what we've got going on right now is we've got four girls at center back, and they lock it down. And then we put this guy Alex at CDM, and he's sturdy CDM. And then we've got Victoria on the right center mid, Dell on the left center mid. I played Cam, and then the two newbies up top. And yeah, no, they
hmm.
played well. So, but yeah, no, last semester we had a good team last semester. I
I
don't know
remember, yeah.
why or how. And I think actually I do want to comment. I think you're absolutely right, Zach. I think it all had to do with confidence because we won our first game like 3-1. Like we beat up on our first team, and from there on out, we just like I think we just believed. We believed that we were a good team and we played like a good team. Whereas this semester, when we started out with that 2-0 loss and then
Mm.
jumped right into the 7-0 loss, I think we are all looking around going, what the fuck happened? Like, are we the baddies? Um, because we were that 3-2 game that we lost, are a much better team than that team. That team is not very good, but
Mm.
we just like you said didn't have any confidence. Oh my gosh. And then you're completely right because before we started this game last night, all the girls were like, "Oh, they look so good. They're going to be so good." And I was like, "Don't say that. Get out there and play. Who cares how they look? It doesn't matter how they look."
Hmm. Um,
Like confidence has a lot to do with that.
oh, I had a follow-up question. It was a really good question too, and I don't remember what it was. Ah, that sucks. Should have wrote it down.
Yeah, you should have wrote it down. What did that have to do with the IM team?
Yeah, it was about soccer, about like your team in particular.
Okay.
But I can't. Oh, I don't remember if it was something along the variation of like after the game ended.
Yeah.
Did you guys talk about the formation, or did you just think it went well because how good you played?
Um,
Like, what were the vibes like after the game was over?
no, I think the vibes were good. The kind of funny thing is like we're a little bit high school, a little because they're all freshmen, but
Hmm.
like unfortunately there's like I mean ABCDFC, if you know you know that there's people on the team that just everyone kind of is like on, and so unfortunately we've got another one of those characters on our team,
Oh,
and so but that was the thing was he played his best game last night as well. And so it's hard to find a spot for him. And that sounds bad, but it is true. It's hard to find a spot for him on the field because he wants to play like in defense. And God, I hope no one's listening. But some of the defenders don't want him to be playing in defense with them. And so like I originally had him at CDM, but then we transferred him up to center mid. Uh, because of personality conflict issues.
right, right.
And And so the guy that slotted in at CDM, he was very confident. He enjoyed that role that he played. He said, I thought that worked well. So talking to a couple of the people, it did sound like I don't know if they necessarily thought the formation did well, but they all agreed that we played some of our best football. So I guess I don't
Nice.
know. I don't know if it necessarily, if they all agree that it was a formation or if they just thought that they had a good night. But I think it had a lot to do with the formation because they were not like they weren't dicing us up like other teams were. They were
Right.
much we had that much more under control.
Man, I'm so excited for the next game, what that pregame talk from Johnny Reader is going to be.
I know. I That was the thing was last week I kind of gave a little bit of a pregame talk. I didn't really give much of a pregame talk. Usually what happens before the game is I kind of go I don't go around to everyone individually, but again, like there are just kind of it's a little clicky. Like there's some folks that like sit together and I don't know. It's not really like I'm making it more than it is. It's not really clicky, but basically I just go around to everyone and I'm like, how you doing? How you feeling? Ready? Want to play today? And pretty much everyone says like they just want to play in the same spot. But I think now
Hmm.
that we've got this formation, I think I think we're just gonna stick with it.
I
Um,
hope so. It sounds
yeah,
like it's working out. And I again, like you said, if you lose small next week, that sets you up for a small win the following week.
right. Which which yeah, we're facing the following week. We're facing the team that we lost 2-0 to. I think. I think
Oh,
that's how.
okay.
So so we'll have a chance to like show, look, we've improved. So,
Mhm.
anyways, yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I don't really, I haven't really given too many speeches yet, um, because I'm still tiptoeing. I don't want them to think I'm a complete weirdo yet.
I don't think they would think that.
I think they think I'm fun, but I don't want to. They don't seem like the type that would get really riled up by a good pregame speech.
Oh,
They
oh,
seem
that's
like
lame.
they seem like I don't know. Because we're too spread out. It's hard to get these guys all like that's what I guess that's what I mean. It's like when we enter the place, everyone kind of like we don't really put our bags all together like we do for ABC to FC. Everyone's just kind of all over the place. So you have to like bop around and then the only time that we get together is when we're finally like all on the field. So
Oh, interesting. Huh.
anyways, so I usually send like a post game message and I've been using our AAA hockey coach guys.
You
I
have?
love,
Oh, that's
yeah,
awesome.
like when we lost to the 7-0 game, I sent the like, I sent the video. I forget the lines right now, but it's just like, oh, I actually hit him with the, "Are you committed?" I actually like said that
Oh,
like a
you
little
did?
jokingly, but
Uh-huh.
I was just like, well, folks. Oh yeah, this was after the 7-0 game. This was my speech. I was like, well, everyone, I got nothing for you. Just head back, shower up. But I do want you to take a good long look in that mirror and ask yourself, are you committed? Are you committed to this team? Do you want to be here? Because look, I'll tell you, I do. I'm committed. And so then I sent that video later, because it's just the best video of all time.
It is, it's so good. I got guys from all over who are itching to get a spot on this team.
Itching to get a spot. Pussyfooting around in the corners, taking bad fouls.
Sorry, sorry.
And yeah, so that's a great video. They had another video where it's like where that I sent last night, where they're kind of like I don't know what the caption is like, because the caption of that for that other video that we were just talking about, that's like after like coaches after a blowout loss or something like that, so that was appropriate. But
Hmm.
the I don't know what the caption of the video was last night, but they were it was kind of appropriate. Like they were just like, oh man, you know, it happens, win or lose, we eat wings. And I don't know. I'll maybe post it, send it out, something like that. But it captured the vibe well. So, anyways,
Perfect.
that's all I wanted. I know that's a lot, but that's I got out what I wanted to get out in terms of I am soccer.
I'm glad. No, it was entertaining. I like that.
Thank you.
I, I love the soccer updates. I don't know about the viewers. I love them. So we can.
Well, yeah, hopefully I'll have some more good news up ahead to get.
Hmm.
I should have
Um,
scored though. I should have scored.
dude, I dude,
It's gut
I
wrenching.
I feel bad, but I've never had that happen to me because I've only played defense. But I could imagine that's got to be like the worst feeling in the world,
Oh,
especially like in an IM game where nothing really matters.
yeah. But we
It's
were
just,
fighting so hard,
uh-huh.
like I should have done it for the team, and I
That's the
couldn't.
thing. Like, and it's like it's just you too. Like
Yeah, I
you can't
know.
really blame. Well, you could blame the rest of the team for like the loss, but in that moment, that's on you,
Right. Yeah.
and you just
Yeah.
gotta like live with that feeling.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was in 1v1. Oh my
Hmm.
God.
But you know what? You will get them next time.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
it's gonna happen. So,
You have to fail a million times sometimes before
hmm,
you have that success.
exactly. But kind of going off of that, um, when I was, someone want to talk about like the whole, I want to talk about the whole interview process. Like when I was looking for a new job, I might have applied to hundreds of places before I accepted an offer.
Mm-hmm.
And just like the whole interview situation is just doesn't make any sense to me.
Really?
I don't know about you. I don't know how you feel about references. I think references, coming from an HR guy, I think references are the stupidest thing we could possibly do. And it shouldn't affect your job at all. I don't know why people require references because who's going to put a reference that gives you a bad review, you know?
Yeah.
I just don't get the point of that. And then why do we have to like, I don't know. Have you ever heard the term personality hire?
Yes. Yeah.
I think that's more of a thing than like doing a standard interview. You have to lie about who you are basically in order to get a job.
What do you mean by that?
Like a recruiter might go, tell me like your worst quality. And you go, oh, I work too hard. It's like, no, you're lazy. That's your worst quality. You just can't say that. Like,
Do you say that? Do you say that you work too hard?
no, 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 no. I have a good answer for that. I say I think a lot with my heart and over my head, but I end up having to make the decision that causes the head to overtake the heart.
Wow.
They eat
Powerful.
that up. They eat that up.
They love
Um,
that shit.
but I just kind of have a gripe with the whole interview process, and especially when I was applying for a new job back in like when I was really going hard in it, like October, November, around that time.
Mm-hmm.
I had like interviews with other places, and man, oh my God. So I applied to Oakland Community College. Shout
Okay.
out them, but
Yep.
I don't know if I don't know if I told the story in the podcast, but they sent me a Zoom invite. And I was like, okay, cool. I'll just meet with like the hiring manager and it'll be great. I get on the Zoom call and there's 7 people in the call.
Woo.
And just then I was like, is this a group call? What are we doing here? Is this like a
Yeah.
group interview? And then I go, hi everyone. And everyone's and then they say, hey Zach, welcome. And I'm like, all right, we'll do a round robin of basically everybody who works in the HR department at OCC. And I was like, guys, this should have
Well,
been somewhere.
yeah, that was like the first round interview.
First round interview. No,
That is a little crazy.
no pre-screen phone call. Just the first round was everybody in the HR department at OCC.
Wow. That's intimidating for
It
sure.
was extremely intimidating. And if they would have said like, "Hey, you'll be interviewing with the entire HR team," maybe I would have had prepared a little harder
Right.
because I just assumed it was a 1v1.
Yeah, no, that's reasonable.
So that obviously it went as good as I could have done with not preparing too much. But
Yeah.
why not just tell me like, "Hey, there's going to be more than one person on the call."
Yeah.
I don't know. Being on the HR side of things, it's made me think how we do so many things wrong in HR. And that's just something I want to change. I don't know if you've had any experiences with like a negative interview. Not necessarily like you had a bad interview, but something in the interview didn't go well.
Hmm. Um, I mean, I think my like, I guess I don't think I'm not thinking you're probably a lot closer to it. I'm imagining that you're thinking a little bit more about the process, like what
Hmm.
goes poorly in the interview process. I feel like for the most part, the processes have been fine, and reasonable. But I mean, one really bad interview for me was like a pre-phone screening. or at least I thought it was. Again, I guess this is kind of the same. I thought it was just going to be like a pre-phone screening. And so I literally like took this phone call so casually. I was outside like walking around when I got this phone call, and then he started like asking me like questions about like tell me about a time that you did something like a project or something like that. And I was like, oof, I'm not ready. And I remember like these guys were like a quality, like a contract quality firm. Like they did like they worked on documentation and yada yada yada. And I remember just spewing some bullshit. I was like, yeah, I think one of the most fun parts of my engineering projects was kind of the documentation and the presentation afterwards. And he's like, did you just say that you enjoyed the documentation the most fun? Like, not in a kind way at all. He was
He
like,
asked you
did you
that?
just
He's told
say
you
that?
that?
Yeah, yeah.
That's
And I was like,
crazy, dude.
and I was like, yes. Because I don't think I could back down at that point. I think I
No,
just
no,
had
you had to commit to that.
like I just had to have confidence. Because at that point I think it was like if anything was gonna get back on my side, it was gonna be just
Hmm.
overwhelming
Just
confidence.
balls to the wall.
Yeah, right. And so the call wrapped up pretty damn quickly after that. I'll tell
Yeah.
you that one. She was
Hmm.
just like, "Well, yeah. Well, thanks for your time today. We'll give you a call and if
Hmm.
we feel like we want to move on." And didn't hear from them. And
Yep.
completely reasonable, but like again, I kind of blame the process for that. If I had
Hmm.
been informed like, "Hey, this is an interview, not
Hmm.
just a like phone call," then I maybe would have been more ready. I maybe would have been
Right.
prepped. I maybe would have been, somewhere quiet,
Right.
ready for the question.
Do you remember that one interview you had? It was like 60 questions in 60 minutes. It was like
Yes,
that
yes.
is insane too.
I wasn't a fan of that either. It was like a personality exam more or less, but I was told that it was going to happen. Shout out Aaron and the Striker hiring staff. They did like tell me a little bit about it for sure. But then just even like just the day, it's still tough. It's like I think I've said this already, but it's still tough like the MCAT. Like you can prep all you want for the MCAT and feel good, but still the day of going in, 7 hours of like exams, it's still hard. You can get all mentally prepared as you want, but it's different than like running a marathon. I mean, I guess no, it's probably the same as running a marathon. The day that you run the marathon, no matter how much training you've done, still sucks to run 26.2 miles.
Yeah.
So it's just the same thing. Like I did a little bit of prep, probably should have done more prep for that. But still, the moment that you step in the arena and you're getting asked 60 questions in 60 seconds, you're like, you feel a little defeated. You feel a little
Hmm.
worn out. So, yeah, I mean, obviously that didn't go well, um, but I wouldn't blame the process for that one. That one I would say was more just me, I guess.
I don't know. I mean, it's hard to answer that many questions in that amount of time.
Yeah.
I think that's just a not smart way to do it. I don't know. I think we should either have one interview system and get rid of references. That's my
Across
preference.
America,
Across America. That way everybody
every
knows what's
company does
coming.
the same thing. No, yeah, I think you got a little point, but I don't mind companies having different interview processes and different, you know, because some are really good, some are really bad.
Hmm.
I
Wouldn't it be great to
guess
have a good time all the time?
all the time, yeah. But but it also I think I mean, not to be like too cliche, but I think the interview process, like when it is a shitty interview process, you can at least go, holy cow, this company sucks. Like I don't want to work for these guys. And if they do have
Hmm.
a good interview process, you're like, hey, man, it's interesting. I
Hmm.
kind of like the way that they conducted their interviews. I like the people that they had me speak to. It's a selling point for the company. So if we standardized it, you'd lose a little information on that company, I think.
You're right. You definitely would lose a little. And definitely like bad
'Cause-
companies could also trick you into
Yeah.
wanting to work there. But that happens anyway. But
Yeah.
you're right. It probably would happen a little bit more.
Yeah, if it was all standardized.
Yeah.
So I know what you mean though. I mean, I agree. Like references, it's always like such a. I agree. It's such a pain in the ass to put down references. I mean, I've got people that
Hmm.
I can put down, but it's like, God, it's just, it's just a like a little bit more work. That's just nagging, and I feel like 90% of the time, come on, do they really even, do they really even contact these guys? Come on.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's I agree with you on the references. It's bullshit. But
So I'm just unhappy with the whole interview process, and I want to change.
yeah, there you go. Well, you are on the path towards that. If I mean, of all people to change the interview process, you would be that guy.
What
Let's
better
say
than
like
an?
15 years down the line. That
Mhm.
should be you.
We'll see. I'd make it so easy. I'd
Well,
get to
yeah, what
know
would you do? Day one as interview commissioner. The president of the United States calls you up. He says,
them.
Zach,
Wow.
have you do a hearing in front of Congress. You're going to be the new head of Department of Interviews of the United States. What is the first change you're enacting besides eliminating references?
Okay. I think what I do is we do phone screen, um, one-on-one interview with either with HR and maybe hiring manager. If there is a third one, maybe with like just the hiring manager and like HR just there to supervise or whatever. At most, you get 3 rounds of interviews at most. Because I've done like 4 interviews at a place one time for an internship. And my guys, this is ridiculous. But I had to do it because I needed an internship.
And you think
So,
that'll be those 3 rounds will be enough? Like, I mean, for example, Apple gets tons and tons of applicants. Will that be enough
mhm.
to weed out the app like 800 applicants?
I mean, in this situation there should be. Is there one position?
Um, yes.
We'll just
Is that
say yes, make it easy. I mean, the HR guy has to go through all the resumes. Let's say he cuts it down to like he's not going to interview 100 people or 800 people. So let's say he cuts down the resumes to like 20, and then after the phone screen cuts it down to 10, and then the second round 5. That works with me because the big thing is at Apple. I'm sure there's a lot of recruiters who have time to interview a lot of people, but for smaller companies who only have one HR person and they get a lot of applicants, they're not going to have time to go through all of them. So that's why I think you got. It's not necessarily like an issue to have more than 3 rounds because they have to cut it down anyway, and it's just wasting more time to have m more interviews. I think if
I'm
that
still
makes sense.
thinking like I feel like it can't be standardized though for the exact reason that you
I
just
know,
said. Like some
I know.
companies have more resources, so just how it goes.
That's what I think though. Why? And also, I've seen this a lot. It doesn't do with HR, but like some marketing companies require you submit something like they give
Mm,
you a situation and then you have to
yeah,
submit your answer to that, and then
right.
they use it and then you don't get the job. What are we doing there,
Oh,
guys?
really?
Hmm.
Well, that's I don't know. That seems like bad practice.
That's yeah, I know. That's just fishy stuff. So
Yeah.
like Marky had applied for this marketing internship, and she had to give a presentation on like a question the company had, and like they could just totally use that
Yeah.
whatever ideas they're interviewing for. So yeah, that's that's my whole gripe with interviews. I just wish it was different. Again, like maybe it doesn't have to be standardized, but it should be a little different.
Okay. That's fair. So a lot of people are afraid of look at watch this epic transition about to happen. A lot of people are afraid of interviews,
Hmm.
and a lot of people are afraid of other things. There are some quite unusual fears out there. Zach, did you have a couple that you wanted to talk about?
I did have a couple unusual fears. This one I'm excited to talk about. It's not necessarily like I'm scared of these things. These are just things that I really don't like, and I don't want to, interact with them. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about that my unusual fear, glitter. I don't know what your thoughts on glitter is, Sean. I can't stand glitter.
Really? I can't say I've interacted with it recently enough to make a comment. So No, I've got no thoughts on it, I
It
suppose.
just if you drop it, there's glitter forever. You're not getting rid
Yeah.
of the glitter. And like if you touch it, it's on your hand forever.
Mm.
Takes so long to flick off. I don't know. I just
Have you
glitter.
used glitter recently?
No, but I've
Oh.
seen glitter and be like, I do not want to even be near that.
Oh,
Marky Maddie
interesting.
were big glitter gals,
Yeah. So
and
you've just got okay. So this is a phobia for sure. Like you see glitter and you have a physiological negative response to it.
yeah, I guess if you want to call it that, a phobia,
Wow.
then sure. Speaking of phobias, this one actually I'm scared of. The gum that shocks you.
Oh my God, I hate that thing.
I hate that so much.
That
This the
is
whole
why that thing is why in middle school when we were allowed to chew gum, I refused to chew gum because I knew those existed and I did not want to get got. Because I
really.
got once and I was like, that was terrible. No one wants to get electrically shocked. Like case
No.
in point, Zach would always get electrically shocked when at the parking lot in Royal Oak, and
Yeah.
me and Ned we were always like, "Oh, what is it? What's this guy? What? This guy's making a huge deal out of nothing." Because it's mostly, and so like, this guy's totally fibbing over here. And then I did it, and I got electrical, and that was an intense shock. And I can
Mhm.
see exactly why Zach would not want, like, why he was making a big deal of that. So that stinks. It sucks getting shocked.
Yeah. And that's I can't eat juicy fruit because somebody zapped me. I went to Cranbrook Swim Club as a kid, and I got somebody what gave me a juicy fruit version of that. And dude, it electrocuted me. I can never look at juicy fruit the same. Um, one thing I also am kind of scared of is well, not scared of, but like when you put ketchup or mustard on like a hot dog or hamburger and like the
Yeah.
liquid comes out,
Oh,
it doesn't
terrible.
really change the taste of it, but it's just like I don't want to eat that now.
No, I agree. It's gross. It's weird. Um, Especially like it doesn't happen often, but if some like weird stadiums have like the bottles rather than like the pump machines,
Hmm.
and you get the liquid like on your hot dog that you're holding in your hand, I agree. I would it, if no one was watching and if my parents didn't buy me that hot dog, I would throw that hot dog away immediately and just go get a new one.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I'd be like, I'm done with this hot dog.
I definitely grab some napkins or something,
This
but
hot dog is now poison to me.
so I don't like that. I don't. This is gonna be a controversial one. Um, Ceiling fans,
Mm.
not a huge fan of. Right? I know
The
I mean
irony, you're not
I
a
maybe.
huge fan
Oh,
of stealing
hey,
fans.
that's joke of the month right now. Congrats, Johnny, you did it.
Well, no, you did it. I
Pun of
just
the
took the
month.
pun. You
Pun of the
you
month.
punned it.
I don't know. I've never really liked ceiling fans. I feel like I had a thing when I was younger. If I jumped up and I jumped too high, my like head would get cut off. I was jumping on the bed above a ceiling fan,
Oh yeah.
so
Did
I was always
your
nervous
head
about
ever
that.
get cut off?
Hmm.
No, it didn't.
But what'd you say? Sorry.
Did your head ever get cut off?
Oh no.
No.
Thankfully no. So again, I don't mind ceiling fans now. Like I'm an adult. I'm not terrified of ceiling fans, but if you were to ask me, would you want a ceiling fan there? My first response would probably be no.
I kind of did completely disagree. I love ceiling fans. Um, because they provide some nice cool air. They provide, circulation to the room. The only
Hmm.
bad thing is if they start making a racket. Like if they're a loud, obnoxious ceiling fan,
Hmm.
then it's just really disappointing.
Yeah.
But to have your ceiling fan on like a very low setting at night as you go to bed, oh, perfect.
I
In
don't know.
the spring, summer, I should say, in the summer.
Right. I don't know. I don't like being cold when I sleep, so I also don't like it for that reason as well.
I mean, I agree, but that's why I'm saying like low
Hmm.
setting.
Right. All right. I have two more.
Two more
Um,
unusual fears.
yeah.
All right, I'm excited.
This one you're not gonna understand.
Okay.
So velvet,
Okay.
I just
I can't
don't get it.
relate. It's kind of like glitter. I can't really relate.
Yeah, it's kind of like glitter, where it's like, what is this? I don't want this. There's no real rhyme or reason behind that one. It's just like,
We're trying to think of an instance where I interact with velvet. I can't. Is it the color? Like the color is off putting?
no, like the material.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But
I don't
it's
know. I
supposed to
just
be like soft, isn't it? Is it supposed to be like a
yeah,
nice?
but I don't get it. I'd rather just have cotton.
Hmm. You know what's nice?
What's that?
Whatever these Lululemon underwear is made out of. That's a nice material.
That I doubt that's velvet. I feel like velvet underwear
Probably
would
not
be
velvet.
very uncomfortable.
Apparently, silk's supposed to be really
Oh,
nice.
silk. Yeah, silk
I
is
feel like I
good.
can't say I know silk that well though.
I don't think I know silk that well either. I just remember when I was in China in eighth grade, we went to this like factory that makes like pillows and sheets,
Hmm.
and everyone's like, "You got to buy the silk sheets. They are the softest thing to sleep on."
Really? Hmm.
Yeah, I don't, so I just remember people hyping up silk a lot.
Yeah. You know what's really nice?
What's that?
When you find like a really comfy sweatshirt and like you're just like, what is this material on the
Oh
inside?
yeah, um, yeah. And then the last thing I got here, sleeping on the bottom bunk of a bunk bed.
Oh, you
I don't.
that's you fear that.
I do.
Why do you fear the bottom bunk over the Oh, because you think it's gonna Step Brothers, it's gonna fall down on you,
Yep.
crush you.
Hmm.
Hmm. I I guess selfishly for me, I fear the top bunk just a little bit more because I'm like that would be scary if your top bunk collapsed. It would be more scary for the guy underneath you, but also it'd
Yeah,
be scary for me.
that would be. It's scary for both parties, but I think I'd rather be up top. Plus, I like climbing down in the morning.
Oh, you like the little calm down. You
Hmm.
know, I did live in a top bunk for all my freshman year because I had like my desk underneath my bunk, my bed.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
That didn't mind it. It was kind of fun. But I guess you're right. If I had to choose a bunk or a bed on a bunk bed, I'd like the top bunk.
Hmm.
But I'm definitely taking just a normal bed.
Oh, of course. Well, yeah, no. You got to take a normal bed.
One day I want to get back. I had this in Kansas City. One day I had my queen bed and it was just like in the center of the wall. So I had access to like all sides of it.
Mm.
That was magical. I hope to get back to that one day.
You will. You will. I heard that's like how you become a doll is when your bed is not in like the corner of a room; it's in the middle.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all my fears, Johnny. Do you have any unusual fears or?
You know, no, I can't think of anything. And I was kind of asked a similar question yesterday in class. They asked like, what is something that you just like have unconditional hate for? Like, what are you just like a D1 hater of? And I know that there's things out there for me, but when I was asked it, I couldn't think of anything.
Hmm. I
I
hate that
guess your
feeling so much.
microwave, the birdhouse
Oh, the
microwave.
birdhouse microwave. That definitely is.
I
You
hate
should you
that
should have
thing.
said that. My old roommate's microwave.
But that's what I'm saying. Like in the moment, it's so
Hmm.
hard to think of something, but when you're looking back on it, so I'm sure by next podcast I'll have some fears for you. Um,
Sounds
because
good.
now it's like I'm blanking. Trash juice. I hate trash
Trash
juice.
juice is gross. Yeah.
But does anyone not hate trash juice?
Well, nobody likes shocking gum.
That's true. If you're the one giving out the shocking gum, you
Yeah,
like
you
it
like
because
that,
you
but
don't give
no,
a fuck.
nobody likes
But
getting shocked from the
I don't like
shotgun.
skin.
I'd honestly have trash juice on my leg than pull a shot gum.
Honestly, probably me too, because I'd be like, at least I can clean this off.
Yeah.
Which would I rather take? Like someone squirts a little trash juice on my leg versus me having to grab the shotgun? Because there's something about it where you're just like, all right, how bad is it going to shock me this time?
Uh-huh.
Like I know it wasn't that bad last time, but what if this time it's bad?
Hmm. I don't know. At least for me, it's always worse than how bad I think it's going to be.
Oh, really? It's worse than how bad you think it's going to be?
Hmm. Well,
I
I
hate
remember like
whenever it has that.
that was terrible. This is going to suck, and then I do it. I'm like, oh, it was so much worse.
Oh, that's kind of a unique mentality to have. I'm curious. That's interesting. Do we have enough time for the boss payment mishap, or
We
do
can,
we should we just wrap up on penny
but
stocks?
let's wrap up with penny stocks.
All right, Zach Jennings, penny stock trader. Sorry, did you? I didn't mean to dox you like
No,
that.
that's okay. That's okay. So I started doing penny stocks. I don't know. My normal stocks kind of
You big
taken
into
a
penny
hit.
trading? I'm big
Hmm?
into penny trading. Penny trading your mom.
Okay. Well, that wasn't very nice. No, but so my stocks just over the past like month and a half, 2 months have kind of tanked. And
Your
I
penny
was
stocks.
thinking, no, no, my normal stocks.
Oh.
So about like a week or two ago, I got into the idea of what if I sold some of the other stocks and started doing penny stocks because you could really hit it big on that. Um, Spoiler alert, don't do that. That's not a smart move. I didn't lose like that much money on them, but more than like I bought stocks at like 70 cents and they're at like 19 cents.
So that, I mean, percentage wise, that's a huge loss.
It is one of them is negative 75%.
Oh.
And the other one is negative 71%.
So not even like, oh, what did I just do? Nothing, I guess. So not even like 0.75%, like 75%.
Yeah, it
Because
says negative 75.32. That's one of them.
usually when you lose out on like 50 cents on your stock on the day, it's like, oh yeah, that's just like 7/5 or 7/10 of a percentage. And you're like,
Hmm.
oh, okay, I can deal with that. But no, you lost out on 50 cents worth of stock, and that was
Yeah.
a lot, a big
Yeah.
percentage.
Yeah. So don't go to the penny trading subreddit. They feed lies. That's all they do. I was so bought in. Everybody
Lies.
there's a daily chat or whatever, and everyone was like, "You got to buy the stock. It's gonna shoot up." And I was like, "Oh, we're shooting up. I'm getting that."
I want to
And
get in on that.
it
Zach
did,
wants to shoot up,
it
ladies
did
and
a
gentlemen.
couldn't have
Zach
done a more
Zach
180.
loves shooting up.
If you know me, I'm a big up in the shooting department. But yeah, no, that's really all I want to say. Don't do penny stocks because Johnny texted me and he's like, "You should not do that." I want to give praise to Johnny. He was correct on this. And then like a day later, I texted him, "I'm up actually a penny on one
Yeah,
of the
yeah,
stocks."
yeah,
So,
yeah. It's
and I
funny.
was trying to flex on him, and then like not even 2 days later, it all came crashing down. So Johnny, shout out you, man. Listen to Johnny when it comes to stocks. Just you were also right about Netflix that just skyrocketing.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Zach and I have disagreed on two things so far: Netflix and penny stocks, and I'm 2-0 on that one at least.
hmm
But I don't want. I'm not going to gloat about the Netflix like that. That is also gut wrenching. Talk about gut wrenching stuff to happen. I could whine and moan about that one
hmm
for for ages.
I definitely have a big
I'd
part
be mad
as to
maybe I
why.
haven't just bought in.
Yeah. So anyway, if you want your stock information, go to Johnny. He knows what he's talking about.
Go to
Zach
Johnny,
is,
not Zach.
I
I'm
mean,
sure Zach,
Zach
you got
is.
you got some winners.
I know I have some winners, but that's
Just in your
because I've
folio.
had them for a while.
Yeah.
They're also not doing great right now,
Ah, it
dude.
happens.
Dude,
30-year
if I had,
time period.
well, I bought the stock in 2017.
Exactly. So you're only 10 years into your 30 years. You still got 20 more years.
Dude, I got to rant about Tesla real quick.
Oh, go
I
off.
bought Tesla stock literally at like the lowest it was. It was a perfect time to buy. I couldn't have nailed it better than I did, and it was up so much money like 4 months ago,
Yeah.
like a $500 from when I bought it increase.
Like preceding the election, right?
Yeah,
I feel like
and
I remember
then
hearing about that.
the dude did the salute, and it just tanked. Like honestly, I of course I'm upset with the whole salute. That's not cool. But he cost me so much money. No, I'm joking.
Uh, I think I already texted Zach. I mean, I agree. It is the weirdest. He's just a weird guy. Like, we'll be
Yeah.
honest, he's a weird guy. And I mean, it's just like the Vine. It's like, Elon, stop. You look like you're not, so I mean, I guess I would say I don't think he meant it, but it
It
it looks pretty
looked
damn bad,
it
man. It
looks
looks
exactly like it.
pretty bad.
And like not to I mean I know we gotta wrap up, but Kanye too. What are we doing there, man?
Oh my God, what are we doing?
How do we not talk about this also? Internet Explorer over here. Um we're so late on that. But Kanye, what are we doing, dude?
I mean, like, I don't. We can't say that the writing was on the wall, but it kind of was on the wall, right? Like, we kind of. We'd
No,
already been through this.
we knew. He just
We
the
knew.
relapse was so much worse than the first one.
Okay, yeah, I agree. That's it right there. Who knew the relapse would be this bad?
Bro, I mean, like somebody had a good point. Is Kanye's just like the homeless person on drugs in the middle of the street, but just he has a lot of money. Like he just says the most wildest stuff, but it's like,
Yeah,
oh, that's Kanye. He always says that.
yeah,
So like, I don't know. I there's something's wrong with him because no like normal person is doing that.
yeah. Is doing that, spouting
So
that type of stuff. I- I mean, whoever said that might be right because people that are experiencing homelessness, some of them have mental health issues. Like I
mhm.
think that's kind of like a famous quote is like, "Oh, there's not a homelessness issue. There's a mental health. There's not a homelessness crisis. There's a mental health crisis." And so, those people that are screaming crazy things, they might not be in the right state. So you might be right.
Mhm.
He might just be having some mental issues. I don't know. It's wrong to
I'm sure.
speculate, right? It's wrong to
Yeah,
speculate.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We're not him, but still a crazy thing to do.
Crazy. It's just absolutely nuts.
All right,
We
well,
disavow. How about that? We disavow. Can we? We'll end on that. We completely disavow
yeah.
Elon and his salute, and we disavow everything that Kanye said. That being said, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy is
I
such a
mean,
good
it's
album.
so good.
Such a
And
good
for
album.
it sucks. I mean, why did he have to say that?
Why do
Separate
you
the
have
artist.
to?
Can you separate the artist from the person or the
I
artist from the music?
wish. Um.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
Well,
right.
here's our episode.
Hey, live in the now, folks.
Living
Don't.
now, baby.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's it. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.